no. Buzz, look!
They fixed Smash Online.
Where? Ah!
Alright, let's cut to the chase here. Why does Smash Ultimate Online suck, and how can Nintendo fix it? Well, first things first, I'm sure you all understand the idea that in Smash Ultimate Online, when you play in Quick Play, that the game will randomly select a rule set to play. So for example, if I'm playing online and I get paired up with this other player, if I selected I want to play 1v1 and they selected to play free-for-all, the game will randomly select which game mode we're going to play. Now I'll obviously get into more details about this, but first I want to talk about what Nintendo can do to fix these problems. So the first thing that they can do is they could use dedicated servers. Yeah, I know. It's the same old excuse that everyone keeps saying that Nintendo should do, but hear me out. Right now the game is looking for opponents with a similar global smash power and a good connection. If the game doesn't need to worry about finding players with a close connection via using dedicated servers, it could instead focus on searching for players with a similar preference. That's all I'm going to say for dedicated servers, but now let's get into a second idea, which is this idea of manual matchmaking. So there could be this menu within the online menu where players could see other players who are also searching for matches. If people complain that they are randomly getting paired up with other players that either have or do not have similar preferred rules, then let the players select the opponents themselves. This menu could show players a list of about 5 or 10 other players who are actively searching. The players would be able to see the opponents' preferred rules. There could be a green box around the same rules and a red box around different rules, the character they are playing, and how good their connection is. I was thinking there could be this invite option so the recipient can decide if they want to fight you or not, but I realize this method seems too complex for the player. Not that the player is stupid, but maybe too overwhelming for them to just get into a match. However, if the recipient can't choose if they want to fight you or not, you could have a chintzy rule set that the recipient did not agree to. Honestly, this idea seems like it's good in theory, but in practice, it could be very complex for the player. Okay, now let's talk about the battle arena. So, we should have an ARMS-styled battle arena. The idea of waiting in line for the next match is absolutely ridiculous. Instead, the battle arena should function similar to the Switch game ARMS, which allows multiple matches to take place in a server, as well as training. In Smash, the waiting line should be cut, and players should have the ability to either battle players. If there is a match in progress, you can join another match with someone else who is not fighting, all in the same server, train, spectate, or stay idle. This will allow players to constantly be doing something rather than sitting down, twiddling their thumbs, waiting to play. Now, of course, if I hung out with friends in real life and we wanted to play 1v1 Smash, those who are not playing in the 1v1 would have to wait before they could play, but we could have Nintendo Switches which could have multiple matches occurring at once. The thing is, I'm playing a game online. Why should I be forced to wait? So now we get to the best part of the video. The idea about how Nintendo can fix online, or how I worded it in the script, that Nintendo won't fix online. And here's my theory, a game theory. Okay, in all seriousness, this all has to do with priority. I understand that Nintendo needs to spend a lot of money to make things work. Dedicated servers could cost a lot of money for them, and they realize they don't need them based on the games they create. For example, here is a list of 3 games: Smash Ultimate, Splatoon 2, and Overwatch. All 3 of these games are multiplayer experiences, but both Splatoon and Overwatch are primarily online experiences. Splatoon might have a single player experience, but it was built for players to play with each other. Overwatch doesn't have any single player content. Could you play these games with LAN? Well, yes, but it's not ideal. An example of this is if I were to call up my friend and say, "Hey friend, why don't you just come over and we could play Overwatch together?" "Oh yeah, sure, I'll bring my giant PC setup, I'll bring my desk, my chair, and my, like my monitor, and my keyboard and mice. Bring all this shit just so we can play Overwatch together via LAN." Now, that's just an example with 2 people. Overwatch can have up to 12 players in one game. So think about how insane it would be for people to bring all their setups in one sitting, like together, just to play a game via LAN. That's pretty ridiculous. And yes, I do know that Splatoon is on Switch, so you could bring it to a friend's house easily. But it doesn't work as well because it's really a one person to one screen experience, as I like to call it. In Smash, you could have up to 8 players all playing on a single console because the in-game camera follows everyone. Shooters don't seem to use split screen anymore, and it's really not practical. Shooters work when you have the whole screen to work with. Smash does as well, but the screen is never split. So because of this, it makes sense that a game like Overwatch is required to have a stable online connection, or else no one would be able to play the game, period. So, what's the argument for Splatoon? Well, I would say that Nintendo knows they could get away with a decent / playable connection for this game, but most of their first party titles are games built for local play. Mario Party, Mario Kart, Smash, Kirby, ARMS, Yoshi, these games all work well with local play. This is what is important to Nintendo. If Smash Online doesn't work well, then the players will fall back to playing locally. Nintendo knows this and will not waste their money, quote unquote, on trying to create a better online experience when they want to promote a local experience. So here's the wrap up. Nintendo can make Smash Online work a little bit better in terms of making the battle arena work like the ARMS arena, and by making quick play just really focus more on being able to just match players with other players with a preferred rule set. And again, I do understand that the whole way that it works is by finding players with a similar GSP and having a good connection, but if the game also has to search for players with a similar preference, that just kind of adds to the flavor. It just makes it take a little bit longer or whatever. And I do know that in the latest patch that the game will take a little bit longer to find matches just so you can find players with a preferred rule set. But what I'm thinking is that why in quick play is it made so that you can have a random rule set used, you know what I mean? Because that's kind of ridiculous. If anything, the game should have some sort of criteria saying if the player wants to play 1v1 and specifically with stocks, then whatever else in the middle, like how many stocks or how much time, doesn't really need to be checked. So always match me up if I pick 1v1 in stocks. Always match me up with other players that have that preference as well. I mean, that's the least they could do. And if anything, they should give players an option to whether or not they want to wait longer for a match that can give them their preferred rules, or if they just want to get into a match as quickly as possible. Doesn't matter what rules there are, because people want to play the game either casually or play it in a very specific way. I think that's the way that they should make it work. And my whole quote-unquote theory about Nintendo not fixing online, that's just kind of a theory, you know. Maybe Nintendo will make the online better, but looking at Smash 4, they haven't actually changed it. They might have had a patch or two to change the way it works a little bit, but they haven't full-blown remade the online. And I made this comment on this guy's video, and I essentially said that, you know, the only way Nintendo can make the quick play work is if they just revamp the whole thing, but I honestly don't really think they're going to do that. And again, for Battle Arena, it's a very simple fix that can just make it work like the way it works in ARMS. But let me know what you guys think about Smash Online. Does it work for you? Do you have connection problems? I am very curious to find out because I'm hearing all different results. I'm hearing some people say that they're getting terrible connection and that they're getting terrible matches, and some people are saying they have absolutely perfect connection, better than Smash Wii U, and nothing about how the actual gameplay is. But for me, I am not able to try Smash out yet because I have to wait until Christmas to play because I have finals now, so I was thinking I could make this quick video, and yeah, that's it. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.